Hey everyone, welcome back to the Homestead. I just got done making a video of our awesome visit to Laura Jensen down at Jensen Reserve, visiting with her and learning about how to get the most bang for your buck out of these awesome Meishan pigs. But what I realized was the video is almost 2 hours long and most people aren't going to want to see that. So I'm making this kind of abridged version. If you want to check out the full version, go ahead and click on it in the top here, and you'll be able to watch that full version without any really editing. I mean, a lot of editing, but it's a full-length video. This one's just going to be a short one, giving you some highlights. So hopefully you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel.
All right, everyone. About 4 hours from Knoxville is Loganville, Georgia. That's where we went to meet up with Laura Jensen at Jensen Reserve. She's also the president of the American Meishan Breeders Association. So we drove down her awesome driveway, looking at the different paddocks that she had set up for her Meishan pigs. And these pigs were very happy, very large pastures. And as you can kind of tell, even though the grass has died back, the Meishans are very good on pasture. They don't tear it up. There's very few spots that look like they were rooted, and they could have been done even by something other than the Meishan, or just a spot that didn't get very much water. But these cute little guys were running around everywhere, and it looks like she's got plenty of room and plenty of room to grow. As you pull up, you see her home, and you see the rest of the pens. You see her watering system. You see everything, the parking, and then in the back you see the Jensen Reserve store. Now that store used to be the living quarters or guest house, and when we walk through it, we can actually see those quarters, and they're pretty cool. And all around the outside, she has tons of pigs. As you can see right here, my son Riker is with the original males, the ones that she has. She's kind of seen how long that they'll live. Then she met us inside and greeted us and kind of got a good feel of what we were hoping to get out of the class, which I think is very valuable because we were able to tell her what we expected from the class, and she was able to somewhat customize that to help us get what we were paying for. So very helpful. So we were in a class of 4 if you count me, but really it was the 2 boys and our new friend. We then learned about the tools that are being used. So it was actually pretty basic. You know, a sawzall, a few different cutting knives. The specialty blade for the sawzall is what she just showed. It's basically 2 different size, very sharp knives that are used for basically anything that we need. And then we saw that she uses kind of a mallet and a cleaver. She had a funny word for that. You'll have to check that out in the main video if you want to see more details. And then we started getting in on the carcass. They started pointing out all the different parts of the carcass. She showed us a small sample of cutting up the leg. And then my boys were surprised that they didn't realize that they'd actually be doing the cutting, and they got to work. Here you can see they're actually cutting out some tomahawk pork chops, which, by the way, are very good, delicious, and the boys had such a fun time cutting that open and really learning where the different parts of the pig were, where the different pieces of meat come from. Laura was very good at just kind of showing us the different pieces and the different sections of the pig. When things get tough, like things that would stop us, she showed us some tricks, like going around the joint so that you can cut the cartilage and pop it out. And then the boys really got into it, and here's them cutting out some spare ribs, and they're very, very proud of those. So as you can see, this is the final cutting. You got the trim, you got the different cuts of meat, one that you're finishing up. So it was actually a good deal of meat. Then we took a little break and went out and played with the heritage herd, which takes us back to the beginning of the day, and I'm going to let you guys listen to what she's showing us as far as her whole operation.
We, of course, follow food code. On the right is our raw section. We keep our grinder head in here, and we'll talk about that in the class. Prosciuttos that come in that are started in the salt are on your rack on the right, and then it works itself around to charcuterie, and then our dairy and our other products. So this is our curing chamber. It is very unspectacular as far as full right now, and the reason being is we want to make sure that we are ready November 15th to load this thing with charcuterie. The reality that kind of bit a little bit was these prosciutto not be wholesale. So everything we do has to be under the federal inspector on site to be able to wholesale it. And our quickest cure is what you see on the little pieces on the right. That's our biltong. I can turn that in 14 days. So with Christmas here,
Yeah,
that's
you're
what
getting
we're
ready
gonna
for the
focus on.
holiday season, right?
Yeah, so we've kind of missed it, but we're going to do those quick cures. That's another process I developed through my program. Generally, that's on a Brazola cure, which is on an eye of round that takes 90 to 120 days. So having cash flow I can turn every 14 to 21 will really help get this program kicked off.
Awesome.
So this chamber runs a little bit warmer.
What temperature does it run?
41 to 43.
Okay.
Our food code thing is everything has to be 41.9 below. We run this one at about 36, and that's because we want to be able to vac seal raw cuts and still have it under 41 degrees. So we push this one as low as we can. This one we bump up for the cures.
Awesome.
Yep, and that's my little chambers and coolers for right now.
Cool.
This is our federal processor's desk. We had to provide the desk, the file cabinet with a lock, and a cork board for them to display stuff for us. Those are
So if they ever decide to come out,
oh no, they'll be here.
oh, they're here. Okay.
So the whole thing with federal is they can and will be on site when you're operating under federal. And since we're a brand new plant, is what they call us, we're a plant, very small according to their terminology, and I agree. They'll be on site with us, I imagine, to start. So when we start our day on federal, if they're not here to check off and verify everything, we can. But I know initially, and I really hope so because I want to do it right, that they're going to be here to make sure we get started right.
What's the cost of having a federal
Here's
person
the
come out?
crazy thing: it's free.
Wow.
There is no.
I'm like, that's an overhead cost right there, but
And
no.
you see, so that was Bill's old drawing table. It was a chair we had, a file. We had to buy a $20 slide lock over there because they will put a padlock on that file cabinet, and it's the same padlock at all the federal.
Different federal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my other licenses were more expensive. I had to have more certifications. The only thing that I had to add to my list of what I'm certified in was I had to be officially trained and certified in how to write HACCP plans. That's a whole nother video, which is no big deal. I've written my HACCP plans. And then all those books that you see up there, we had to create all those programs and such to go federal. But the other reason I wanted y'all to step back here is this is how we make kraut. Kraut's a great product. This is something that we designed. My husband had severe indigestion and he didn't want to
Fermented
go on.
cabbage.
Exactly.
For my boys, they don't know.
And it smells like farts for you people that aren't here. So he didn't want to go on prescription meds. He looked at the natural route. He figured out how to make kraut. And that's how we work. He figures out our proof of concept. Once we prove it, we work on scaling it. I'm licensing, branding, marketing, sales, all those things.
And it looks like you've got a bunch of different flavors, right?
We only do two.
Garlic
we do garlic and then classic. So classic will be your green, and garlic is a red cabbage with garlic cloves in it. So
Now you can it, you jar can this, or just sell it fresh?
no, so we don't want to heat treat it because that kills all the good gut bacteria or microbes.
The fermentation, yeah.
Yeah, we've had several friends and customers that have been able to improve their health, improve their gut health, and they tell me they come off of medications because they're eating our kraut on a regular basis.
That's amazing.
And so this is wholesale. This is manufactured foods, and we had to learn how to scale it. So that's what we'll be doing. Date night, Wednesday night, me and Bill will be making the next 100 pounds of classic kraut.
That's awesome.
It's how we roll.
Now the real question: do you grow your own cabbage?
I do not. So here's the funny thing: they ask me all the time, "What vegetables do you grow?" I tell them I suck at that. I grow meat. That's what I do. I'm really good at growing meat. But I look at it as a tradable skill.
We are trying to learn how to grow vegetables, but we are
I'm not
yet good at it. I think I grew like 2 fields of corn and we got 3 pounds of it that
There you
wasn't
go.
ruined.
But like me and you grow grow meat well, go trade with that person.
Yep, I'll go
Who
trade with
grows
that person. I'll
That's
go
what I
trade
do.
with it.
I'll trade all day long to get what I need.
Yeah.
So,
Something nice about pigs is they'll eat anything, so you can find.
well, so
something
that's a
anything.
lot of people say the Meishan is that way. We find that they can be picky, and if you
I'm
see
seeing
videos-
pickiness.
Yeah.
Because we have a commodity feed that we use for all of our pigs, and the Meishan will not eat a portion of it.
Yeah.
The other ones will eat it when they get hungry, because I know they don't like it either, but the Meishan just flat out will not eat it.
Right. I
kind
have
of-
people tell me to load them. All you got to do is put feed on the trailer. The Meishan doesn't roll like that.
Nope.
You may get lucky. I'm not going to say never, but in general, that's
Not
what
so-
you're loading
not-
to
not
feed
so
on the
much.
Meishan. So anyhow, that's kind of the back kitchen and the tour. Next, we'll go out in the barn and I'll show you what's out there, and then we'll get to the cut table.
Sounds good.
All right, so we are out here in the barn hallway now. So the things that we were talking about earlier with Mariel and I, the room over here that you see enclosed that's now storage, that's where we started making prosciuttos, as far as we hung them out here to let them cure. We can walk over there, again, the storage, that's kind of a mess now. But under our state license, that was something that we were eligible to do. So that's our initial proof of concept room on the left, and then the room we were hanging them in on the right. It's a mess, don't hold it against me.
It's okay.
That's awesome. So,
Now it's storage, so it's all right. Storage doesn't have to be perfect.
So is that like a screen in there to like
Yeah,
make it so,
so-
nothing could get in there?
So we were so excited that our state inspector would allow us to do that, we really weren't sure if we'd ever get approved. And they didn't really have any rules other than they classified it the same as a barbecue place, in that you had to have something to keep the vermin out and keep the critters out, the bugs out. So we
But
took-
aside from that,
Yeah, so we took what we do from the chickens. That is just like screen door mesh behind
Yeah.
there, and then that's like a concrete thing.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It looks like the concrete mesh,
Yeah.
not necessarily like,
Yeah,
what is it, the hardwire cloth that's so
Right.
expensive.
yeah, and we took that from chickens because that's what we had done up to then, and we wanted something that things couldn't chew through to get to the meat.
And I don't know if you're like us, but we look at things that people are throwing out
Yeah.
and think, how can I use that, or I could use that for this.
I
And
have a whole pile of that over there.
Yeah.
Because every farm needs that
And
pile of that.
working in
Side.
manufacturing, they're throwing away a lot of
Yeah,
stuff all the
yeah.
time. So
Definitely. So our next big step is we're gonna go to a walk-in freezer. These
Okay.
are the freezers that we use. The little one with the boxes is turned off. So when you look at the volume that we churn through the store, we're really doing it with these.
those are
little
some
freezers.
big freezers, and I like
Yeah.
how you have them on pallets. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So we have a barn, and we're trying to figure out how to utilize some of that space. And I like the
Yeah.
pea gravel too, guys. Like that's
Yeah, I like this one.
So
That
this
makes it-
was, this was 3 stalls, and when we started, this was the horse stalls, and that was the hay room. And so now we have events out here. We just had. The
looks like
tables
you make some cutting boards out here too. Huh?
I don't.
No?
But I have friends that do. So
Yeah.
This is our show setup. This I had a friend make that. This a friend. Make
That is
this for me.
beautiful.
I am in love with that. Yes.
So it was an incredible day, an awesome opportunity. The boys learned so much. They were so grateful for the experience. And then we were able to go home with 2 additional pigs, which was kind of cool. So hopefully you guys liked this video. Watch the full-length video and subscribe to the channel.
You got to help,
We'll
Rick.
see you next time.